Welcome back. Today we investigate a microscopic threat that hides in plain sight, riding on the air we breathe, the hantavirus. It doesn't need a bite or a scratch. This specific pathogen travels completely silently through aerosolized dust particles. It originates from infected wild rodents. When their traces dry out, the viral particles mix seamlessly with ordinary dust. You sweep a dusty floor, take a deep breath, and without knowing it, the microscopic invasion begins. Your respiratory tract has sticky defensive layers to catch debris, but this virus is incredibly stealthy. Millions of microscopic hairs constantly sweep upwards to push invaders out, but the viral particles are simply too small. Bypassing the surface defenses, they travel deeper and deeper into the dark, branching tunnels of your lungs. Finally, they reach the absolute bottom, the alveoli. These are the delicate, microscopic air sacs. But separating the air you breathe from your bloodstream is a microscopic wall of tissue, called endothelial cells. Just like a master thief, the virus uses specific organic keys to unlock the doors of these vital barrier cells. Once inside, it hijacks the cell's internal machinery, reprogramming it into a microscopic virus manufacturing factory. The factory activates. One single invader becomes thousands, quietly spreading to the neighboring tissue. This is the incubation period. For days, or even weeks, the virus silently multiplies, while the person feels absolutely fine. Then, the silent phase ends. It begins with sudden, severe muscle aches, extreme exhaustion, and a spiking fever. These symptoms mean your immune system has finally realized the lungs are heavily compromised. What happens next is a devastating microscopic crossfire that literally threatens to drown the lungs from the inside. Now, the silent invasion shifts to an all-out assault as the virus targets the vital barrier within your lungs. It steadily accumulates along the delicate endothelial cells that line your blood vessels. The barrier is put under stress. Your body responds with natural inflammation, sending a clear biological signal. This creates a complex microscopic environment. Your natural defenses are causing cellular stress while trying to protect you. As the response continues, the tight junctions holding the barrier cells together begin to widen. The capillary walls become more permeable, and pale biological fluid gently begins to transfer. This biological fluid changes the environment. It moves into the air sacs, the alveoli, where you breathe. A pale fluid gathers in the lungs. It slowly fills the air sacs from the inside. This is pulmonary edema. This layer of fluid complicates the exchange of oxygen, making it harder for red blood cells to function perfectly. Simultaneously, as fluid shifts location, your overall blood pressure begins to decrease. The pulmonary environment is visibly changing, and this microscopic shift is about to influence the rest of the body. The lungs hold more fluid now. The natural process of absorbing oxygen requires much more effort. The surrounding tissue feels the pressure. The delicate structure of your respiratory system is physically challenged. The person experiences shortness of breath. They describe it as needing to work harder just to breathe normally. This is the peak of the pulmonary phase. The lungs are currently in a state. The biological risk has saturated the lungs, but the fluid shift continues. A broader systemic reaction is just beginning. As the fluid shifts away from the bloodstream, the effects move beyond the lungs. We enter the systemic phase. With less fluid in the vessels, the overall blood volume naturally decreases, and this changes the internal pressure. To compensate for this, and the heart steps in and begins to pump faster to maintain the necessary balance. Your blood vessels also adjust by gently constricting and narrowing their tunnels to keep the pressure stable. These adjustments require a lot of energy, and soon, vital filtration organs like the kidneys begin to notice the change. Kidneys require a strong and steady flow of blood to filter out waste, So when the pressure drops, this process slows down. Because the flow is reduced, and the natural filtration system becomes less efficient, and natural byproducts begin to accumulate. Without optimal blood flow, the cells receive less oxygen and naturally shift into a low power mode to conserve themselves. This conservation mode is not just happening here, as it is a systemic reaction occurring throughout the entire circulatory system. Muscles and organs everywhere in the body are feeling the effects of this reduced oxygen delivery. The biological engine is forced to slow down and prioritize only the most vital functions to sustain life. In medical terms, that significant drop in pressure is known as hypotension, which is a profound systemic shift. For the person, this translates into profound weakness and a deep, heavy fatigue as the body conserves energy. This marks the peak of the systemic phase, where the body is managing a complex state of reduced internal pressure. The internal ecosystem is stretched to its limit, but modern medicine is about to intervene, and the biological counterattack begins now. The battle reaches a critical point, but in intensive care, modern medicine steps in to support the failing biological system. Intravenous fluids are carefully introduced, and this helps restore the lost blood volume and stabilizes the internal pressure. Simultaneously, mechanical support forces high concentration oxygen into the lungs and pushes past the accumulated fluid. But this critical intervention gives the red blood cells exactly what they need, so they absorb the oxygen and carry it to the starving organs. Intensive care does not cure the virus, and it simply keeps the human machine running, while buying precious time for the real hero to arrive. It's deep inside your lymphatic system, and the ultimate biological weapon has finally finished analyzing the invader. These specialized cells begin manufacturing millions of targeted antibodies, and they are perfectly designed to hunt this specific pathogen, since the antibodies flood into the bloodstream like a microscopic army, and they travel quickly, searching for the viral particle. And because they were custom built, and the antibodies recognize the exact shape of the virus, and they lock onto the threat immediately. They bind directly to the virus, and by covering its microscopic keys, the virus is completely neutralized and can no longer hijack your cells. Once the virus is tagged and neutralized, and the cleanup crew arrives, and massive white blood cells are called to the scene, these cells literally devour the neutralized particles and clear the debris, while destroying the threat from your system forever. With the virus defeated, the intense inflammation stops, and the body slowly begins to reabsorb the fluid from the lungs. For the patient, the heavy weight on their chest lifts, and the fatigue remains, but the ability to breathe freely returns. The biological balance is restored, and the incredible resilience of the human immune system, combined with medical support, has won the battle. But surviving this microscopic war is a difficult journey, and the best defense against this pathogen is making sure it never enters your body. The key to defeating this invisible enemy is making sure the battle never actually starts inside your body, so prevention is our ultimate shield. Remember that this pathogen comes from the dried waste of wild rodents, so avoiding these traces is absolutely critical to keeping your lungs safe. Opening windows and allowing fresh air and natural sunlight into closed spaces is an incredibly powerful tool. Because the virus is fragile outside the body, ultraviolet rays from the sun easily destroy the viral envelope, so simply ventilating a dark cabin eliminates most of the microscopic threat. When cleaning dust, you should never dry sweep because that launches the particles into the air, so always use wet mops and liquid disinfectants. Simple household bleach and common disinfectants neutralize the virus instantly, so wiping down surfaces completely destroys the pathogen before it can reach your airway. Wearing a high-quality mask when entering abandoned spaces acts as an artificial filter and provides an incredible first line of defense for your respiratory system. By taking these simple precautions, you keep the viral load at zero, and your natural mucosal barriers remain completely untouched and perfectly healthy. And your microscopic cilia can easily handle everyday dust and harmless debris, as long as they are not overwhelmed by stealthy aerosolized pathogens. This ensures that your delicate alveoli remain completely dry and perfectly optimized for the vital exchange of oxygen without any biological interference. Separating the air from your blood, the endothelial walls remain tight and secure, so your bright red blood cells receive all the oxygen they need. With a strong and secure barrier, your blood pressure remains stable, and every organ in your body operates at peak metabolic efficiency. And if you ever encounter the virus again, your immune system now holds the microscopic blueprints to neutralize the invader instantly. And if you ever encounter the virus again, your immune system now holds the microscopic blueprints to neutralize the invader instantly. Outside the microscopic world, the human experience continues uninterrupted, full of energy, and the simple joy of breathing freely. The human body is an absolute masterpiece of biological engineering, capable of surviving incredible microscopic wars when knowledge is your greatest tool. So stay curious, stay protected, and thank you for joining us on this incredible journey inside the human body.